Right, so can you see the screen?
Yes, we can. Fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you.
Right, so what I've been using is a Nearpod. Basically what it lets you do is create an interactive lesson. I've used it a lot for revision lessons, but I've also used it for actual lessons as well. It gives you lots of different options. So when you create a lesson, if it's a bit faster, you've got lots of options that you can add in. So you can add in the theory kind of aspect of it. So if you've created a sway or you've created a PowerPoint, you can add all of that in. And then along with that, you can add in lots of different activities. The one thing I find with this is that pupils actually stay engaged with the lesson, and you can kind of keep them paced with you rather than answering questions at their own pace, which is sometimes a wee bit slow. At one point as well, I had a class that they had emotional needs and they wouldn't actually speak to me. So it was one way of getting them to actually answer questions because they were quite capable of it. They just didn't like to verbally answer any questions. So that helped me kind of with them. I'll show you an example lesson that I created. I used this with my third years yesterday. So I put my starter question in that, and it was just like a whole bit of multiple choice questions for them to answer based on the previous lesson that they had. Skip. Then I put my slide in. So I'm sorry, I'm a computer science teacher, so some of this won't mean anything to anyone. But basically, I wanted them to know kind of about the different types of errors you get in coding. So we kind of had a wee discussion about it. But then I could start asking them questions about it. So can you remember what the names of the errors are? Then, like, do you remember the definitions of them? And like, so, but it was taking a shorter amount of time than it would have been if I'd have given them a worksheet to answer. Did a poll. This bit I quite like, if it's what I remember it to be. So this is where you can actually get kids to write their answers, and it all shows up so they can see each other's answers, and you can get them to like different ones and things like that, and it creates quite a bit of discussion between the pupils. Also, if you're doing revision, it could be like, which one's the best answer, that kind of thing. The one that the pupils really like is, it's a bit like Kahoot in that it is a whole bunch of questions and it's a kind of competition. Was it time to climb? And the pupils like that. You get to choose like the backgrounds and stuff like that. And there's really bad music behind it, which the pupils quite like. So I always use that to kind of figure out, have they actually picked up what I wanted throughout the lesson, and just to give them a wee bit of fun at the end of the lesson. So that's me creating lessons. But what Nearpod also has is a bank of lessons as well. So there's quite a few, not many to be fair, for computer science. But they do have lots of stuff. So some of the ones that I did see was very computer orientated. But so team voice, sexting, but there's lots of other ones as well for different subjects and different levels as well, because there's quite a lot aimed at primary as well as high school. What else does this actually do? At the end of the lesson, nothing is actually lost. So you've got the pupils answering all of these questions online. And once you've finished the lesson, you can actually get a report from the lesson as well. So, and you can actually get individual pupil reports as well. So sometimes what I will do is print them off and actually either put them up onto Teams, or I can actually give them a copy of it to put in their folder, but I can also write comments on it as well. So it's not like it just gets lost in the ether type of thing. I'm not too sure what else to say about it. I have to say, I love this. This is part of the kind of outline that it gives, so it breaks it down, so then I can see, okay, so where were pupils going wrong, where were they going right, what do I need to cover later on. You can also adapt it during a lesson, so if I think of a question that I want them to answer but I have forgotten to put it into the lesson, I can add it on the fly as I'm going through it as well, which I quite like. Yeah, like I say, pupils really enjoy it. There's two ways as well that you can actually give this lesson out, and one is to have it interactive, so all the kids are with you and you're working on it, or you can actually give it to individual pupils to work through it on their own. And I quite like that for if a pupil is off, they still have access to that lesson, so they're not losing out on that learning experience if they choose to actually partake of it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deborah. That was brilliant. I'm going to give you some applause, but in true primary fashion, I'm going for a round of applause as well. So well done. Fabulous. Thank you. Just gonna